In the dead of the night, within a silent tunnel,
There's a certain format, a formula we love to use when writing down stories. This said formula involves a planned out world building, a nifty plot, and a whole lot of broad ideas to give shape to your story. But what happens when a story decides to kick the bucket and do its own thing right from the start? Dandadan is about a glasses, alien loving loser kid ending up in a tunnel and getting sexually assaulted by a super scary grandmother who then manages to possess the boy and hops out of a mobile phone just so she could cause mayhem within a spacecraft that allegedly belongs to some sex offender aliens. Did I mention the ugly and sex offenders? Dan, despite the creepy and disturbing intro I just gave, is actually a pretty wholesome story about Momo Ayase, a psychic girl who awakens her powers when she comes in contact with sex offender aliens and barely escapes an assault on her thanks to her psychic powers and a turbo granny possessed Ken Ocarine. And if you think any of this is bizarre in any sense, then you can possibly be ready for what I'm about to tell you next. This manga has an 8-foot tall acrobatic big jug mob who possesses a narcissistic white blonde hair Karen kid who then gets powers similar to Okaru, who himself is possessed by a speedrunning grandmother who would allegedly take away your sticks and balls. There's a MILF grandmother who is a fortune teller who looks too young to be someone's mother, let alone the grandmother. There's a weird shrimp-like cryptid alien who goes around punching you at subsonic speed, who actually turns out to be a really good guy. There's a giant Mongolian deathworm, underworld demons who love sacking innocent children and civilians, to an alleged Mongolian deathworm disguised as a snake god. There's a buffed friendly Gigi who turns into a renegade possessed Ronaldo every time someone pours water over him. There's a crab demon, a sumo giant, old musician paintings that love to do battle operas against anyone who enters the music room in the middle of the night. There are girls who go around moving actual Godzilla robots and kiss anyone who gets them out of them. There's Nessie, who turns into this all-destroying laser-shooting monstrosity roaming within a completely flooded school. There's cow abducting UFOs, invisible Godzillas, houses made of nanotech that become megazords just by the use of some imagination. Mongolian deathworms, Acrosilky, Evil Eye, Shrimp Alien, Evil Eye, Evil Eye, Evil Eye, Evil Eye, Evil Eye, Evil Eye, Evil. But despite all that, this story is nothing more than one about two souls trying to connect and make sense of all this madness that brought them together. Underneath all this chaos, it's just Ocarine and Ayase falling in love with each other, going through all sorts of crazy shit as they look for Ocarine's lost body parts. At the end of the day, it's a story brimming with innocence and love. It's about aliens and evil spirits, but at the same time, it's about Ayase and Ocarine. It's about Mongolian deathworms and earth dwellers, but it's also about Gigi and Shiratori. Maybe it's a story about an old speedrunning grandma hack and an acrobatic long-haired ballerina, but it's also a story about sadness and sorrow. I kind of fucked the ending, didn't I?